there. It's 2021. That's exciting. 2020 is finally behind us. Wow. Hello internet, my name is Savvy. Thank you so much for coming to my little slice of YouTube for this video. I'm really excited about it, definitely nervous. This is definitely outside of my comfort zone since all I've done is reaction videos, but a few of you were asking for this and I think it is a damn good way to start this year. So, in the video today, I'm going to be ranking my top 20 albums of 2020. Now, let me clarify. This is going to be based on the albums that I've done on my channel. So if I've reacted to it and published a video for it, that's what I'm ranking. There is a good chance that I have listened to music off camera. Actually, it's guaranteed that I've listened to music off camera. So before you get in my comments, just know that if I haven't posted a video about it, it's not gonna be on this list, baby. To add a bit more of a twist to this video, not only am I going to be ranking these albums, I am also going to be rating their fandoms. So, being on this platform has given me the opportunity to interact with many a fandom, okay? And they have ranged from, actually, you know what? I haven't met a fandom yet that has been just outright rude. So most of these are gonna be good, but I do have some things to say about some of y'all fandoms. So I'm gonna stop bullshitting and get into this video. Okay, first things first, let's talk about EPs. Okay, I wasn't gonna add them to this list because they are not technically full-length albums. I do not want to lump them in with the other projects that I listened to, but I do want to talk about a few that I really, really loved this year. First was the EP from Loot. This was the Heart Eyes EP. It was fucking fantastic. It had a Travis Barker feature. I love Loot. I just had them on New Music Friday, like last week, the week before, something like that. They're an amazing New York-based duo, really wonderful pop music. I enjoy their music so much, and their performance live, amazing. The next EP was Troye Sivan, In a Dream. I listened to this on repeat for days. Like it was the only thing I listened to when it came out, and I did a reaction to it. So if you haven't heard it yet, please go check it out. I love Troye Sivan. Everything he does is magic. Speaking of magic, let's talk about the Fletcher EP. This was actually originally on my top 20 list, and it wasn't 20, but I realized it was an EP, and I couldn't leave it on there. But the Sex Tapes EP, by far, bar none, my favorite EP of the year. Fletcher is amazing. Another underrated pop artist. Okay, now to get into my rankings. At number 20, I have the Katy Perry Smile album. This, I think, was just a breath of fresh air throughout quarantine. I loved doing this reaction with Landon. I know a lot of you guys loved me doing this reaction with Landon. I feel like this album got a lot of heat for like no good reason. So I don't know why that was the case, but I loved it. My favorites from this album were Never Really Over, which was a favorite from the start, Daisies, which I hadn't heard until the reaction, and Only Love, which I think was the like obvious favorite when we did the reaction. And as far as the Katy Perry fans, the kitty cats, y'all get a fresh 10 out of 10. You guys are amazing. I really love to interact with you on my platform. You had some of the kindest comments I have ever received. And honestly, I just adore you. So thank you for being a part of this channel. Okay, number 19. This was a reaction that I did in like March, I think. I think that's when this album came out. Heartbreak Weather by Niall Horan was one of the albums that I had on repeat like throughout the year. I'm not gonna lie. I really, really, really enjoy his music. I do not skip a single song on this album. Favorite tracks were Heartbreak Weather, Black and White, Small Talk, and No Judgment. I am such a sucker for No Judgment. It's ridiculous. Like, I love songs, so that was definitely a favorite. And fans get a crisp 9 out of 10. Some of y'all are directioners, which is great, but I'm not that. So it was funny because I put the reaction up and then I got all these comments that were like, oh, but what about this? What about this? What about this? And I'm like, y'all, do you understand how much effort goes into this video? I'm just saying. But overall, a joy to interact with. I love you guys. Album number 18, Kid Krow by Conan Gray. This was so unexpected for me. I did not think I was gonna enjoy this album as much as I did, but I definitely got a lot of comments requesting it. I think this was my first subscriber request video, so y'all knew me well. You knew I was gonna have some reactions to give you, so I hope you enjoyed that as much as I enjoyed doing it for you. Top 3 songs: Wish You Were Sober, Heather, Little League. Don't at me, those are my favorites. I listen to them all the time. And fans, y'all were real close to a 10 out of 10, but some of you are just not satisfied with me. Some of you just want more and more and more from me, which is cool. I appreciate that. I'm glad you're here. Thank you for being a part of my channel. However, I have boundaries. Album number 17, Calm by 5 Seconds of Summer. This was like my first favorite reaction that I did. I had never really listened to 5 Seconds of Summer. A lot of you got on me because I think I called them a boy band. Y'all were not happy about that. But I did apologize, and I hope you forgive me. You then requested the Youngblood reaction, which I gave you, and I was also very impressed with that as well. But my favorites off of Calm were definitely Old Me, Wildflower, and Best Years. Again, with the love song, there's something in me that just fucking crumbles. 5 Seconds of Summer fans, 10 out of 10. Number 16, The Album by Blackpink. This fucking album slaps. Like, this went so hard, and I was not prepared for it at all. The singles actually were some of my favorites on this album. So Ice Cream, Bet You Wanna with that Cardi B feature, and Lovesick Girls, those are my top 3 on this album. I want to say Pretty Savage too, because God, it's so good. But then I'm talking about like literally half the album. And Blackpink fans, 10 out of 10. You guys fucking rock. I enjoy interacting with you on this platform so much because of your love and support for these girls. It is absolutely beautiful. Album number 15, Everything Means Nothing by Blackbear. I was raving about this album. I am a huge Blackbear fan. Honestly, some of my favorite music is this like sad emo rap, and it's just, there's something in my soul that loves it. Definitely an album I go back and listen to all the way through pretty regularly, actually. Favorite tracks on it: Hot Girl Bummer, I Feel Bad, and Half Alive. Fans, y'all get an 8 out of 10. Most of you are pretty cool. Most of you are dope to interact with, but there are a few of you who are like the gatekeeping fans. And I'm not about that energy. Like, if I like music, then I like music. Like, I don't have to be a certain way or look a certain way or act a certain way to enjoy it, you know? So the more love and acceptance we can get in that community, I feel like it will just raise the bar for the fandom. But again, most of you, hella dope. Number 14, Dejessi Volume 3 by Jacob Collier. This was my first introduction to Jacob Collier, and it blew my mind. This man is a creative genius. He plays all of the instruments. He does all of the production. He collaborates with other brilliant, incredible artists. And this album was a fucking masterpiece, honestly. Favorite tracks were Time Alone with You, All I Need, and Sleeping on My Dreams. I feel like that's obvious. And the Jacob Collier fans, 10 out of 10. Absolutely, hands down. You guys are seriously so awesome to interact with because you have this deep love and appreciation for the music and also for the artist. Like, it's just really, it's really refreshing to see a community that's so hype for an artist to get success and to get the love that they deserve. It's awesome. Okay, this is where I'm gonna start hurting some feelings, I think, because y'all gonna have other opinions from me, and that's fine, but please don't hurt my feelings. Coming in at album 13, Chromatica by Lady Gaga. This was brilliant. Definitely an album that I listened to pretty regularly, but it was a lot. I'm not gonna lie. We all know the epic transition from Chromatica 2 to 911 cannot be beaten. But my favorite tracks on that album are definitely Rain on Me, Fun Tonight, and Sour Candy. With that Blackpink feature, it's fucking hot. It was just hot. I know a lot of you are gonna have this a lot higher in the rankings, so I hope you'll forgive me. But the Gaga stands, honey, 10 out of 10. I wanted to give you a 9 out of 10 because some of you are not very nice, but the rest of you definitely made up for it. Okay, coming in at number 12, Wonder by Shawn Mendes. This was a late entry. It came out this month, but it really is a no skips album for me. I really thoroughly enjoy this album. And the lead single, Wonder, definitely one of my favorites. Aside from Wonder though, it has to be 24 Hours. I clearly fell in love with that song. You guys all saw it. And then Dream. Dream is, it makes me feel things like on a spiritual level that I was not expecting on that album. But all of the production, all of the vocals, it was just dreamy. Shawn Mendes fans definitely get a 9 out of 10. You guys are, for the most part, a joy to interact with. Okay, album 11, Brightest Blue by Ellie Goulding. This was one of my favorite reactions to do on this channel, and it was really a struggle knowing where I was gonna place it on this top 20 list because I really, really thoroughly enjoyed it. I think there's maybe like 1 or 2 tracks that I skip on this record, but for the most part, it's really amazing to see her as an artist. Like, to be able to witness the dynamic on that album. And first of all, it was a 2-disc release, right? So there's the first disc, which is all Ellie, and then there's like the second disc, which is like her alter ego. Fucking cool, man. Like, it was awesome. Definitely an album that I go back and listen to regularly, all the way through, every time. Loved the features on it, loved the production, loved her vocals. It's amazing. If you haven't listened to it, please go listen to Brightest Blue. My 3 favorites from that album are definitely New Heights, Tides, which, Tides gets me every time. And then Slow Grenade. That's the track featuring Love, which I love Love. I love Love? Love Love? Love. And the Ellie Goulding stands, 1,000 out of 10. Like 10,000 out of 10. You were the first fandom on my channel to really embrace me, to make me feel loved, make me feel appreciated, make me feel seen, and in ways that I hadn't felt on this channel before. I think this was the first reaction that I did that really like opened my eyes to the YouTube community of music lovers. So thank you so much for making me feel so loved and so welcome on this platform. Album number 10, Future Nostalgia, Dua Lipa. This was a fucking jam. It was seriously one of the best albums of the year. I have loved Dua Lipa for so long that getting this album right in quarantine, first of all, it just made me want to go out to a club. Like, period. But like, what a blessing to us. Seriously. If you are needing a pick-me-up, then you cannot go wrong with this album. I mean, your feelings might get hurt along the way because she does that. But still, like, who doesn't want their feelings hurt sometimes? That's so fucked up to say. My favorite tracks on this album are Cool, Hallucinate, and Break My Heart. Levitating is definitely up there too because it's just, she did that. She did that. Dua Lipa fans, 10 out of 10. You guys were another incredible fandom to interact with on this platform. Thank you so much. Okay, coming in at number 9, I am going to break all the rules and put 2 albums together. I'm going to say Folklore and Evermore. Both of Taylor Swift's projects this year get to hold the number 9 slot because they are not no-skip albums for me. But I did make a playlist that is all of the songs that I never skip on Folklore and all of the songs that I never skip on Evermore so that I just go and listen to that one. My favorites off of Folklore are Exile, Mirror Ball, and August. I feel like that's going to be controversial, but that's where I stand. And then my favorites on Evermore right now are Gold Rush, fuck me up, 'Tis the Damn Season, also fuck me up, and Ivy. I love Ivy. Ivy is one that like grew on me because I don't think I fell in love with it instantly like I did with Gold Rush and 'Tis the Damn Season. Honestly, Champagne Problems is probably up there too. There's so much on Evermore that I love right now. I think it's because it's so fresh and I love being in my feelings. So seriously, such amazing projects from Taylor, and I love the collaboration with Aaron Dessner and Jack Antonoff. Many of you know I have a Jack Antonoff tattoo on my arm because he is like my favorite producer of all time. His music just speaks to my soul in a way that I haven't experienced through anyone else's music before. So when I see him working with other artists, it's always something that I pay attention to, and there's something really special about the way that Taylor and Jack work together. It just makes my heart happy and my eyes shed tears sometimes, but it's fine. Everything's fine. Taylor Swift fans, Swifties, y'all get a fresh 9 out of 10 because some of you guys don't like me, and that's okay. I don't hold it against you. It just makes me a little bit sad. Coming in at number 8, again, I'm kind of cheating because I think this is, I don't think it's an EP. It's not an EP. No, it's not an EP. Jaguar by Victoria Monet. This album gave me life. I don't think I was emotionally prepared for it, but it's definitely one that was like on every day all the way through. I played it at work a lot. I play a lot of R&B at work just because it sets a good vibe. I hadn't heard very much Victoria Monet before this year, but now I will not miss a single project. Favorites from Jaguar are Dive, Ass Like That, and I'm gonna cheat a little bit and say the Touch Me remix with Kehlani because that shit was hot. And the Victoria Monet fans, y'all pass the vibe check every time, 10 out of 10. Okay, album number 7, Manic by Halsey. This was my second ever video on this platform, and it is probably a disaster. Like, I really don't want to go back and watch my reaction to it because it's me in my old apartment without any kind of lighting or production value or anything. It's literally just me sitting on my bed listening to music, which technically I'm still doing to this day, but differently. Seriously though, going back and listening to this album, as I listened to every album that I've done a reaction to on this channel, it's just so clear to me that this album from her, it was a no skip album for me. Like, there isn't anything that I'm like, oh, I'm not really into this. Oh, I'm lying, I take that back. Graveyard, not my favorite, but I can appreciate it, you know? This I could not narrow down to 3 tracks as my favorites. So we have You Should Be Sad, fucking great. 3 AM, Killing Boys, and Still Learning. But 929, there's plenty of songs on this album that I think are amazing. And the Halsey fans get a 10 out of 10 as well. I know that some of you found my channel from that video, so the fact that you've been rocking with me for this long, you are the realest. Album number 6, Confetti by Little Mix. This album was one of my favorites and definitely one of my favorite reactions to do because I brought Alice onto my channel. We got to hang out, just vibe, listen to some music, and the album as a whole was fucking rad, okay? It is so hard to pick favorites off of this album because there are so many great tracks and a lot of them that are just different. My favorites as it stand right now are Sweet Melody, Confetti, which I love a title track, honestly, and then A Mess, or Happy For You. Yeah, that one's on my daily playlist and my workout playlist. Like, it just puts me in the right mood. It's a little sad, but I can shake my ass to it. It's perfect. But mixers, you also passed the vibe check, like 1,000,000 out of 10. Thank you so much for all of your kindness, all of your love, all of your support for my channel, all of your DMs on Instagram. You guys have been some of the most engaged audience members, some of the most engaged fans that I have gotten to interact with. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for welcoming me into the mixer community. It is a beautiful and badass place to be. Album number 5. This was Positions by Ariana Grande, another album that I brought on a friend for a reaction for. You guys got to meet my best friend TC, which was so special for us. That was the first time we've ever filmed anything together. And I thought it was a great time. I know people have some mixed feelings about this album, but I honestly think it's one of Ari's best. Like, she is very clearly in love, she's very clearly happy, and it shows in her work. My favorites on this album are, it's so fucking hard. It's so hard to pick favorites off of Positions. I love the title track. 3435 is a vibe. I'm also addicted to it because of the TikTok dance. Nasty is another one of my favorites. My Hair is another one of my favorites. But I think like one of my top songs has to be West Side. I feel like it's just an absolute vibe and people underrate it all the time. Ariana fans, y'all get a 9 out of 10. Again, some of y'all are not so nice. But that's okay. Room for improvement. Like, not every fandom is gonna have super nice people in it all the time. I understand that. It's fine. I still have love for you. Okay, coming in at number 4 is one that probably not a lot of people are going to expect. This is How to Be Human by Chelsea Cutler. Honestly, I'm surprised this isn't further up on my ranking. This was the very first reaction I ever did on this channel, and I did that on purpose. Chelsea Cutler is one of my favorite artists. I feel like she is super underrated and deserves a lot more love than she gets. So she is definitely number 4 on my top 20 albums of the year. I can listen to this album all the way through any day of the week. Any day, anytime, anywhere, it doesn't matter. I will listen to this album fully. If you have not heard it and you love music like I love music, please go check it out. Go listen to Chelsea Cutler. She's amazing. I think my favorite tracks on the album have to be Sad Tonight, which is an absolute bop. Someone Else Will Get Your Eyes, which has one of the most beautiful melodies that gets stuck in my head all the time. And then Crazier Things, which is just a very hopeful song that I enjoy completely. Chelsea Cutler fans haven't really existed on my page. I think probably because I did her reaction so early on in the year. I literally had I don't think I had any subscribers at that point. But some of you have gone back and seen the reaction since then. It's definitely one of my least popular videos, but one of my favorite albums. Clearly. So fans get a 10 out of 10 because we haven't interacted. I don't have anything to dock you points for. Okay, album number 3, KIKI by Kiana Lede. Definitely one of my favorite albums of the year. Definitely something I listen to on a weekly basis, and I do mean a weekly basis. This album is just dripping in vibes, dripping in talent. The features, the production, the vocals, the content, the skitterlude. Ooh, the skitterlude, the intro. It's just, it's perfect. It's amazing. Kiana Lede has to be one of my favorite female artists. Or favorite artists, period. If you haven't listened to this album, you absolutely must. My favorite tracks on this album right now are Plenty More, Labels, which is also on my workout playlist, so I listen to it all the time, and Honest, which if you've heard Honest, you know the vibes. Kiana Lede fans are also super dope to interact with. Y'all get a 10 out of 10, hands down. Thank you so much for being a part of this channel. Okay, coming in as the runner-up for best album of the year, in my humble opinion, has to be After Hours by the Weeknd. Clearly my most popular video. It's sitting at like over 200,000 views right now. I don't know how it got so popular, except for the fact that Alice was on it with me. That was actually the first video we did together. That was a really great video. I was so nervous. I feel like I really wasn't myself in that video because it was my first time having a guest on. We had like done our makeup, and I don't really, like, I'm wearing makeup now, but I don't wear makeup like I was wearing makeup in that video. So it just sort of felt off. I felt off, so the vibe felt off. But Alice really shined in that video, and it was so much fun to do together. So I'm glad we got to do that. My favorites on the album, I'm gonna include the deluxe. So Snow Child, Faith, and Missed You, I think, are my top favorites on the album, which I feel like is also going to be controversial because I think a lot of other people are going to have different opinions as like a top 3, but this is my channel, so it's my opinion. And if you don't like it, then I require you to leave a comment if you dislike this video. Now, the Weeknd fans, the EXO community, if you will, I'm so sorry, but some of y'all are just mean and misogynistic and rude. To be honest, y'all get a 7 out of 10 because a good chunk of y'all do not pass the vibe check. But those of you who have stuck around, who have embraced me and my channel, I appreciate you so much. You have no idea. Because I'm pretty sure I mentioned it in that video, but I've been listening to The Weeknd for years, like since, I want to say, Trilogy. I've been listening since Trilogy. So a lot of people keep on asking for like a Trilogy and a Kissland reaction. Y'all, I have heard all of the music already. I've heard it all. I know it. I can't react if I already know it, you know? So if y'all are seeing comments from others in the EXO community that are just rude or misogynistic or what have you, say something. A few of you have done that in my comments. And I think what y'all don't understand is I read every single comment on my channel. Every single one. It doesn't matter if it's on my first video, my most recent video. I see all of them. And I appreciate all of them, except for the rude ones. I still have an immense amount of love for the EXO community. So again, if you're here from that video, thank you. Thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for embracing me and my channel and supporting this. It really means the world to me. And finally, my top album of the year. This is one that I listen to multiple times a week. I play it at work all the time. I listen to it at home when I'm getting ready a lot. It's just, it's the right vibe for me, okay? It Was Good Until It Wasn't by Kehlani is my favorite album of 2020. This gave me everything I needed for the year. And then some, honestly. Kehlani is one of the most talented artists of my generation. Like, hands down, no cap, she is it for me. Like, she is my favorite artist. Like, she is on Beyonce levels for me, which says a lot because of my love and respect for Beyonce as an artist. I feel like Kehlani has the same hustle, the same vibes. Like, she is always grinding, she's always on her shit, and she's always protecting her energy. She's always making sure that she is taking responsibility for her own energy, which, if you have been following my channel, if you have followed me on Instagram, if you follow me on TikTok, that has been my mantra of 2020, is you are responsible for your own energy. And that is something that I take to heart, honestly. Like, in all of my relationships, in my work, in my personal life, all of it, I'm responsible for me and I can't control anybody else. And that's something that I feel like Kehlani is on that level as well. It was one of my absolute favorite reactions to do on this channel. It was my first midnight reaction, the first time I stayed up and was like, I need to hear this as soon as it's out. So if you saw that reaction and you have stuck around, thank you so much. I adore you. My favorites on that album, I have 4 of them. It's gonna be Water, it's gonna be Change Your Life, it's gonna be Hate the Club, and it's gonna be Serial Lover, because I cannot get enough of all 4 of those tracks. And the Kehlani fans, even though y'all didn't show up in the numbers that other fandoms have made themselves known on my channel, you still get a 10 out of 10. You still pass the vibe check every single time. We are all here. We're on the same page. You are my people. Thank you for being here. So that is it. That is my top 20 albums of the year. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know I'm gonna have a different opinion from a lot of other people, but that's the beauty of music, is it touches all of us differently. So I hope we can all embrace this. Let me know what your favorite albums were from this year in the comments, or if you've got some of the same ones as I do, I would love to know that as well. Again, this is all based on what I've already done on my channel, so there's plenty of music that I listened to off camera that I loved a lot. Out of the videos that I've put up on my channel, these are the vibes. There are over 9,400 of you subscribed to my channel now, which is so much more than I ever imagined. So thank you so much for joining my community of little music-loving savages. I appreciate you so much. You have no idea. I appreciate all of your likes, all of your comments, all of your subscribes. Like, YouTube actually emailed me recently with like a recap of all of the subscriptions and the likes and the shares on my videos, and I honestly was brought to tears because I was so touched by how much this community has grown just in 2020, and honestly really since like March. I hit 100 followers in March and now I'm almost to 10,000, and it's really, really easy for me to get emotional and overwhelmed about it because this is something that I love so much, is sharing music with you. So thank you so much for being a part of my channel. If you are subscribed, if you aren't, feel free, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell so you know when I've got videos coming out. I always do a watch party when I premiere my videos. So if you are here in the chat, you know the vibes, you know I love you. Mwah. If you want to find me on social media, I am Hey Sav all over the internet. You can find me on Apple Music. I've got Spotify playlists in the link below as well. But that is all I have for you in this video. So I hope you are healthy. I hope you are well. I hope you are kicking off 2020 in the best possible headspace you can. And I will see you in the next one.